everyone, hope you are enjoying your weekend. I want to do a review of Super Mario Brothers movie. I watched it earlier today, Sunday, and it is already performing very well in theaters. So just opening weekend, which is this past weekend. First of all, biggest global debut ever for an animated film, 377 million. Biggest 5-day opening ever, 204 million. Biggest opening ever for a video game adaptation, just video game adaptation in general. Third biggest 3-day opening for an animated film, 146 million. Biggest opening of 2023 so far. Also outgrossed the entire global run of Sonic the Hedgehog just in its opening weekend. It's also a great video game adaptation movie. It also will become the highest grossing video game movie ever in the next few days. And it's also a record for Illumination, which is the studio that it is released under. So it is just really dominating the box office. The numbers are only going to continue to rise. It also has great reviews critically as well as audience feedback. So I saw a lot of great things about it before even going in, which I don't really care as much about critic reviews because I would rather pay attention more to what the audience has to say. I think audience score matters more as far as what studios should pay attention to as far as feedback for a film. All right, so overall thoughts on the movie: really enjoyable, very fun, very funny. A lot of the humor, pretty much all the humor in the movie, I think really stuck the landing. Family movie, so it's appropriate for children, obviously. We went as a family. Like some movies that are, kid friendly, some of them are not as enjoyable for parents because it's kind of it's too, the humor, things like that can be a little too immature for parents to actually enjoy the movie. But of course, you're taking your kids because they want to watch stuff too that's appropriate for them. I think they did a really good job of having the type of story and comedy that was enjoyable for the adults as well as the kids. It didn't lean too far one way or the other. It was very well balanced in that way. The animation was really great. It was very pleasing to look at. The colors, the style of the animation, I really appreciated. As far as a video game adaptation, it very much felt like a video game as a movie. That probably seems redundant and well, duh. But no, some video game adaptations, they don't they're kind of a miss with audiences because they're either not faithful to the game, the story in the game, or you don't feel like this movie or show is from this game. It's kind of it sort of is, it's based on it, but it kind of veers off and it's not as true to the game as you would want it to be. This movie feels it really feels like they turned a game into a movie. And the story wasn't lacking because of it. It was still a good story. I thought Jack Black as Bowser was very entertaining, good casting. He was a good villain, but he was still funny at the same time. It was just overall very entertaining. I don't think spoilers should be necessary for this review. Some reviews I do get into spoilers because I feel like it's necessary to point out certain things about the movie, but I don't think there's really anything in this movie that would be a shocking, spoiler to mention. Going back to the video game aspect of it, they really it wasn't just fan service. They didn't just use video game elements to show oh, hey, we're going to throw this in there because it's part of the game. It was actually part of the story, how they incorporated power-ups or, the things that different characters can do, give them certain abilities, or, they turn into the little shells, the turtles, certain things that you would recognize from the game. It was part of the story in the movie. It wasn't just fan service. So I think they did a really good job of that as well, which is why I think it's a very good, it's a successful adaptation of a video game. I think if they continue to make Super Mario movies, I think they will be, I think it will be a very good franchise to have in a movie iteration from the game. And another reason people have been pointing out why this movie is probably, done so well is because there are generations of people that have played the game it's just a household name game, and it's not just for the kids of 12 and under or a certain generation. It's parents and grandparents, you know, of people like that have grown up with this game. And I think that's another reason why, because you have such a far reach of people that are going to be interested in watching it. And even if you are not like an avid game player, it's still an entertaining movie. It's very cute. It's still very enjoyable as an adult. So I highly recommend people watch this movie. You will not be disappointed. There are 2 credit scenes, so you need to stay for one of the credit scenes. It's pretty fast after the movie ends, and then the other one is all the way at the end. So if you want to see those, you got to wait all the way until the end of the movie to see both credit scenes. Highly recommend this movie. Very enjoyable. I'm glad to see it doing well. I think it's going to continue to do well. Some other movies that have come out recently that I will still want to see that I haven't seen yet is Creed 3. Still haven't watched it, but I'm still interested in seeing it and doing a review on it, as well as Air, which just recently dropped with, you know, Ben Affleck's movie has been getting, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, that movie has been getting amazing feedback as well. And if I don't get to watch it while it's during its theatrical run, I will definitely be watching it on Amazon Prime. But if you did watch the Super Mario Brothers movie, tell me your feedback. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? You know, your thoughts if you got to watch it, and if you haven't watched it yet, you know, let me know if you're going to go see it. I highly recommend it. I think it is definitely worth watching in theaters, because it was a lot of fun to watch. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for checking out my review. Head over to the channel in case you missed anything else recently, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you guys so much for the support on the channel.